How are we all doing today? Today's discussion is crafting a perfectly written business plan. But first, our quote of the day. The question isn't who's going to let me, it's who's going to stop me. Ayn Rand. So why do I need a business plan? Crafting a business plan is probably the last thing on your mind when you're starting a new company. However, the importance of a comprehensive, thoughtful business plan can't be overemphasized. Looking at a study from the panel study Entrepreneurial Dynamics, a national generalizable survey of more than 800 people in the process of starting businesses, found that writing a business plan greatly increased the chances that the person would actually go into the business. 2.5 times more likely, and that's fairly powerful. Now, people who write business plans also do more stuff. And doing more stuff such as researching markets, preparing projections, it increases the chances that the entrepreneur is actually going to follow through. But the most important thing when starting a company is to attempt to sell the product to actual customers, even if it doesn't exist yet. Nothing will give you better insight than talking to potential customers. The money factor. Skeptics and fans of business plans agree on one point. Securing funding almost always requires a formal plan. Companies funded by friends and family may not need a plan, but if you go to venture capitalists, commercial banks, government-backed lenders, and most angel investors, you're going to need a business plan. Now, the primary purpose of the plan is to evaluate the feasibility of the business. Now, it's helpful to create 3 sets of financial forecasts: a rosy picture, a reasonable picture, and a disaster scenario. Planning for the future. Whether business plans are long, short, elaborate, or simple, they still contain the basic elements that they always have. Typically, most have an executive summary, a marketing plan, management team description, and financials, which would include income statement, cash flow statement, balance sheet, and projections. Now, recent studies are hard to ignore because they're based on reasonable samples performed by reputable researchers. And people write business plans because investors and strategic partners insist on it. There are certain benefits and limitations to writing a business plan. And simply writing a plan helps push people to think through the details necessary to start the business. Now, a plan isn't always effective when it comes to identifying and quantifying the risks and opportunities a new company may face. One problem is it's easy to overestimate the business's revenue potential, and it's also easy to underestimate the actual selling price of the company's products. It's also easy to underestimate the expenses associated with it. But it's still important to do as much research and planning and try to recognize the amount of financial capital that's going to be required to grow a company. And that doesn't only mean in the initial phase, but in the phases after that. So like many entrepreneurs, writing a business plan allows you to get good feedback from soon-to-be customers, investors, and partners, and that can be critical to building a successful enterprise. So how do we write a business plan? Well, now that you have a better understanding of why you need a plan, hopefully you spent some time doing your homework, gathering the information you need to create one. It's time to roll up your sleeves and get everything down on paper. Now, the following is going to describe in detail 7 essential sections of a business plan. What you should include, what you shouldn't include, how to work the numbers, and additional resources that you can turn to for help. So with that in mind, let's jump right in. First is the executive summary. Within the overall outline of a business plan, the executive summary is going to follow the title page. Summary should tell the reader what you want. It's very important. All too often, what the business plan owner desires is buried on page 8. Clearly state what you're asking for right up front in the summary. Business description. The business description usually begins with a short description of the industry. When describing the industry, make sure to discuss the present outlook as well as any future possibilities. You should provide information on all kinds of various markets within the industry, including new products, new developments, or anything that's going to benefit or adversely affect your business. What's happening there in that industry? Market strategies. Market strategies are the result of meticulous market analysis. Market analysis forces the entrepreneur to become familiar with all the aspects of the market, so the target market can be defined and the company can be positioned in order to garner its share of sales. You'll need a competitive analysis, and the purpose of this is to determine the strengths and weaknesses of the competitors within your market. Strategies that will provide you with a distinct advantage. Are there barriers that can be developed in order to prevent competition from entering your market? Are there any weaknesses that can be exploited within the product development cycle? Then design and development plan. The purpose of the divine development plan is to provide investors with a description of the product's design, chart its development within the context of production and the company itself, and to create a development budget that's going to enable the company to reach its goals. Operations and management plan. The operations and management plan are designed to describe just how the business functions on a continuing basis. The operations plan will highlight the logistics of the organization, such as the various responsibilities of the management team, the tasks assigned to each division within the company, the capital and expense requirements related to the operations of the business. And then finally, the financial factors. Financial data is usually at the back of the business plan, but it doesn't mean it's any less important than the upfront material, such as the business concept or the management team. Financial factors include spreadsheets, income and expense analysis, revenue growth, all things of that nature. So those are the essential elements. Now, what are the steps that we need to create a well-crafted business plan? Every business needs to have the business plan if it's either to attract investors, provide direction, or just to make sure you're successful. But how do you write it? Now, the SBA, which is the Small Business Administration.gov, it's the government branch that helps small businesses. They recommend that a plan should include the executive summary, which is a snapshot of the business, company description, market analysis, organization and management, service or product, marketing and sales, and the funding request. So very similar to what we just went through. Now the funding request is how much money you're going to need for the next 3 to 5 years. So it's a little different. Of course, the financial projections, and an appendix, which is an optional section that includes resumes and permits and anything of that nature. Now, getting started may be difficult to do, so here are 7 steps for writing the perfect business plan. The first, as you can imagine, is research, research, research. Research and analyze your product, your market, and your objective expertise. Consider spending twice as much time researching. Evaluate, think, and more research than take the time to writing the plan. So put the time into it to make sure everything's correct. So the writing of the business plan should be simple because you did all the work already with the research. And to write the perfect plan, you have to know your company, your product, your competition, and your market intimately. In other words, it's your responsibility to know everything you can about your business and the industry that you're entering. Read everything you can about the industry and talk to your audience. What's the purpose of your plan? Business plan is defined as a written document describing the nature of the business, the sales, the marketing strategy, financial background, and containing a projected P&L, profit and loss statement. However, your business plan can really serve several different purposes. First and foremost, it's a roadmap that provides you direction so that a business can plan its future, and it's going to help you avoid bumps in the road. It's important to keep in mind that if you're self-funding or bootstrapping your business, meaning you don't have much money, that you want to attract investors. Your plan's going to have a different purpose when you write a plan that targets them. So it has to be as clear and concise as possible. So it depends on how you're funding, really. Next, create a company profile. Your company profile should include the history of your organization, what products or services you offer, your target market, your audience, your resources, and how you're going to solve a problem. What makes your business unique? Company profiles are often found on the company's official website, and they're used to attract possible customers and talent. However, Your profile can be used to describe your company in the business plan. It's not only an essential component of your business plan, but it's also one of the first written parts of the plan. Having a profile in place makes this step a whole lot easier to compose. Next, make sure you document all aspects of the business. Investors want to make sure that your business is going to make them money. Because of this expectation, investors want to know everything about your business. And to help them with this process, document everything from your expenses, cash flow, and industry projections. And don't forget seemingly minor details like your location strategy, your licensing permits. You need to think through all of this. Have a strategic marketing plan in place. A great business plan will always include a strategic and aggressive marketing plan. Now, this typically includes things like your marketing objectives, like introducing new products, extending or regaining market for existing products, entering new territories for the company, boosting sales in a particular product, market, or price range. Where's the business going to come from? And obviously be specific. Cross-selling or bundling one product from another. Entering into long-term contracts with desirable clients. Raising prices without cutting into sales figures. Refining a product. Having a content marketing strategy. And finally, enhancing manufacturing or product delivery. Each marketing objective should have several goals, subsets of objectives, and tactics for achieving these goals. In the objective section of your marketing plan, you should focus on the what and why of the marketing tasks for the year ahead. In the implementation section, you should focus on the practical, the sweat and calluses area of who you are, when, where, and how. This is life in the marketing trenches. And of course, achieving marketing objectives always has costs. So your marketing plan needs to have a section in which you allocate budgets for each activity planned. It should be beneficial for you to create separate budgets for internal hours, staff time, and external costs, out-of-pocket expenses. Now make it adaptable based on your audience. The potential readers of a business plan are a varied bunch, ranging from bankers and venture capitalists to employees. And although this is a diverse group, it is a finite one. And each type of reader does have certain types of typical interests. So if you know these interests up front, you can be sure to take them into account when preparing a plan for that particular audience. For example, bankers will have more interest in a balance sheet and a cash flow statement, while venture capitalists will be looking more at the basic business concept and your management team. Now, because of this, make sure your plan can be modified depending on the audience reading your plan. Keep these alterations limited from one plan to the other. And this means that when you're sharing financial projections, keep the data the same across the board. Make sure it's consistent, even though it's broken up differently, but make sure the numbers all match. Explain why you care. Whether you're sharing your plan with an investor, a customer, or a team member, your plan needs to show that you're passionate and you're dedicated and you actually care about your business and the plan. You can discuss the mistakes and what you've learned, list the problems that you're hoping to solve, describe your values, and establish what makes you stand out from the competition. By explaining why, you care about your business and you create an emotional connection with others. And this way they're going to support your organization going forward. Now, what resources can you use to write a business plan? If you have a killer idea for a startup, but you lack the time, resources, and budget to develop a business plan generating app can help you get your plan on paper and ideally off the ground. And a number of apps simplify this often tedious, complicated process by crafting a thorough bank and investor-ready business plan. You provide the information, they organize it into a plan, and hopefully soon you'll be in business. Now, the following are 3 apps you can get to help your business plan rolling. The first is Loop. And this is an all-in-one web app that walks users through every step of creating a traditional business plan. And here's how it works. Based on the data you enter into the app, Loop automatically generates sales, profit and loss, cash flow, and balance sheet projections for you, complete with explanatory graphs and other compelling visual elements. And Loop also provides a standard and customizable business plan text for each section of your plan, including portions focused on key company information and financial data. And Loop's free and easy option includes a single custom business plan packaged in a clean, professionally formatted PDF file that you can download, print, and share. If you want more features, there's also paid versions that range from about $10 a month to $40 a month. It's going to allow you multiple business plans. And Loop is only one web-based product, and it's not yet available for mobile devices. The next one is StratPad. Alex Glassy, who designed this iPad-only app, describes it as a strategic planning app that helps entrepreneurs with the thinking and the decision-making process. StratPad can be a smart choice for people who are writing their first ever business plan. It's packed with several free how-to tools for beginners, including a 58-page business strategy, tutorial, view-on-demand training videos, email-based customer service, and more. Now, a free basic StratPad edition is available for students. The easy-to-use app guides guides users through a series of simple questions and prompts, and your answers are used to develop your summary business plan with complete revenue projections and full color graphs and charts. Business Plan Premier, this is a $7.99 iPad app that does double duty for users who are eager to use their business plan, but they want it backed fast. So not only does it help you organize and write your business plan at an extremely detailed level, but it also helps you through writing your company's vision and your mission statement, your product descriptions, your marketing plans. You can use it to complete SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Outline your management scheme, identify your startup expenses, define your target. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. And finally, there are two other business plan apps that I'll give you. These are both, just go to the web address. One is www.liveplan.com/entrepreneur, and the other is https businessplantemplate.growthink.com/plan-strategy. So these are additional resources you can use to help you get started on getting that business plan together. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. I'll have some resources at the back that you can look at. This is Joe Pastore with Platinum Method Coaching. I look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, make it a great day.